Well, happy Tuesday. Plenty to get to, and including the latest that came out yesterday when we were talking with William Kelly out of Chicago. He had mentioned that there was a TV crew that faced an armed robbery after they were reporting on armed robberies increasing in the city of Chicago. Welcome back. It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. We got a lot to get to today, including some of the latest in litigation against Illinois gun laws. We'll touch on that and also look at what's happening with the father of the Highland Park shooting suspects up in Chicago. But you've also got a string of headlines here that I do want to tackle, including motorist fatally shot during armed robbery attempt in Calumet Heights. You've got a man found fatally shot in Auburn Grisham. You've got a teen boy wounded in a shooting among a large crowd in Cicero. You've got a 15-year-old boy shot at a park in South Shore. A boy, 14 years old, wounded in a car-to-car shooting in Brighton Park. And even, the issue of what happened at the White Sox game where somebody sustained a shooting to the leg, and you also had somebody else with a grazed wound. But apparently that is something that may have come from even a mile away, which is wild to think about. So that's just some of the headlines when it comes to shootings. But, of course, when you look at Chicago police statistics, it does show an increase in the number of armed robberies that are happening. And obviously that's a big story, and you have news crews that want to report on this. So yesterday morning, apparently, as is reported, you had a TV crew that was wanting to investigate and report out the dozens of shootings the dozens of armed robberies that have happened just in the past few weeks here with CWB Chicago reporting at least 30 people were targeted by armed robbers in a 12-hour span. And that was from Sunday night into Monday morning. So when a TV crew shows up at the 1200 block of North Milwaukee early yesterday morning, 3 or 4 masked men robbed them, and it's reported that they had a pistol and a rifle, and they were wearing ski masks, and this all happening rather rapidly. And I would imagine that the two individuals of the news crew, a 28-year-old man and a 42-year-old man, they were outside when all of a sudden a black SUV and a gray sedan, two vehicles pull up at 5 o'clock in the morning, just before 5 o'clock in the morning. 3 men got out of a vehicle, according to the latest reporting here, and they ultimately displayed guns and took the victim's belongings, and then they fled the scene. According to police. No injuries reported, but you've seen the videos time and again of public incidents where even in broad daylight at times, you've got people being approached by men wearing masks and guns on display. And obviously that's not something that's really going to make a lot of people feel too safe. So this is something I think is going to capture a lot of people's attention, already is, with the headline that you've got a Chicago news crew reporting on armed robberies being the victims themselves of an armed robbery. But again, some of the headlines around Chicago crime and violent crime is just the slew of headlines from over the weekend, with several young people being shot, one fatally. You've got a man shot in Auburn Grisham, motorist fatally shot in Calumet Heights, and even the Chicago police defending the decision to keep playing White Sox game after 2 were hit by that gunfire. That seems to have maybe been from something that was shot into the sky and then fell down a mile later. And striking 2 individuals at a White Sox game over the weekend. It's pretty wild when you look at these headlines. And what's the effort to combat this? How do you combat this? There's a lot of talk right now nationally about mass shootings. And those mass shootings are absolutely horrific. They are to be condemned by everybody from every corner, regardless of what the motive is. Anytime a life is lost at the hands of somebody using a firearm for nefarious purposes, it needs to be wholly condemned. And I think everybody can agree with that. But of course, you've got certain headlines pushing certain narratives about white supremacy being a major issue. But then when you hear that, you look at the headlines out of Chicago, and it's incredible just to see the number of individuals who are shot in separate incidents, and how that seems to just kind of go into the ether and doesn't get the level of media reporting that you would consider when talking about other nefarious acts where human life is lost. So just wanted to get that out there for you. Coming back, we will discuss a bit about some of the latest in litigation against Illinois' gun and magazine ban. So keep it here with Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk. If you need to get a hold of me, it's pretty simple. Just email me, bishoponair@gmail.com. You also have the opportunity to call in live and local at 217-629-7970. Again, 217-629-7970. Or you can follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, where we live stream and segment out the show. So go and make it happen, all right? Just search Bishop on Air. It's pretty easy, all one word, and you'll be able to find me, no question. All right, so stay tuned, much more.